In this video, I find myself putting a Princess limo through its paces in the Netherlands. Bit weird, but let's take a look. So here we go, a Princess with a difference. There's the Princess badge. It's not really an Austin Princess. They were never actually marketed as that. It gets a lot more complicated. There were initially Austin, Morris and Wolseley versions of the Wedge Princess, but within about a year of production starting, they decided to ditch all the branding and just come up with the new brand Princess. So this is a Princess 2200 HL, and there we go, Princess. So it's fantastic rear lights. So the 2200 means it's got the straight 6 transverse engine, so that might not be a bad place to start. First of all, telescopic struts for the bonnet. That seems quite advanced for the 1970s. But here is the E6 6-cylinder engine, which was initially developed for a car I am very fortunate to have driven, the Austin Kimberley in Australia. But this was developed based on the 1500 E-series engine, but with an extra 2 cylinders. You can see the ports are Siamese. We've got a pair of carburetors on this HL and a 3-speed automatic gearbox. Yeah, it's definitely got all the power. That is the top engine, but of course it's also the smoothest engine. And let's just fire her up, and you can listen to the lovely engine. The noisiest fuel pump known to man, but there we go, that's quietened down. The knock isn't the engine itself. There you go, how nice does that sound? We've also encountered this engine in slightly larger form. Australia developed a 2.6 based on the 1750 E-series engine, and we heard this engine being very raughty in a marina. The E6 in that 2.6 litre form used in Australian marinas, and also the smaller entry-level option of the Leyland P76. So there you go. But yeah, lovely smooth engine, overhead cam, chain drive, just a delight. Now, one of the more controversial aspects of the Princess, it was never a hatchback. They did not want it competing British Leyland with the Rover SD1, so it remained just a saloon. They later corrected that with the Ambassador. This one is actually been sold, so it's got quite a spares collection, the old Haynes manual, some chrome trims in the back here. But it is quite a spacious boot. It goes quite a long way to the back seat, so you can get a fair bit of stuff in, but you are left wondering what might have happened if they had decided to make it a hatchback instead. But never mind, the saloon works very well for this application, which is of course limousine. We'll start with the doors. The raised roof height causes some issues. This is a much larger window, and that's as far as it can drop down. But the other issue is there's a division, which means the seats cannot move backwards very far. So for me, it's all a bit cozy. The steering wheel is rather thrust at my chest. I would like to sit further back, but that's not possible. The Woodall Nicholson, as this is, Kirklees, was very much a budget limousine, hence being based on the Princess platform. And that also means you get a complete sea of brown vinyl here. Even in the back, it's all still vinyl. We'll get there and have a proper look in a minute. But that matches the brown plastic, at least, which is oh so very 70s. Indicators right, wipers on the left, no radio, because why on earth would a funeral limousine have a radio playing? Let's put some cheery music on. No, entirely wrong. Over this side, the bank of switches. This is panel lights, apparently, the full light switch. This is interior lights. If we have a look in the back, look at that. Ooh, fancy. This one, if I put the ignition on, which means that listening to that awful fuel pump again, that switch makes that light come on. If that light comes on while you haven't pressed the button, then it means your brakes are probably failing in some way. You've got hazards. Lovely. I love how uneven that is. Very, very of its time. And what else have we got? Heated rear window. And that's it. That's all the switches. There isn't a lot in here. It's the controller for the 3-speed automatic gearbox, handbrake, some face level vents, and I don't even know what that does. That feels like it's opening those vents up for fresh air very, very loudly. We've got a glove box of a reasonable size, and you can just see where the black material at the bottom of the windscreen is breaking up. That's because that's technically below the level of the bonnet, so you don't want to see out of that anyway. Quite short sun visors on this one, but which at least means they just about miss my head. Later ones had longer sun visors. They must have been awful. But shall we go to the posh seats? So I shall jump into the posh seats. We'll go for the slightly less posh first of all. These occasional seats, quite low to the ground. Got somewhere to hold on. You can control the division if the driver's just getting way too much. And is that plastic? I don't know. I think that actually might be glass. Kind of got a nice posh headliner, as would have been back in the day. I presume these seats, yes they do, they fold down, so I'll show you how that works, and then we can have more of a look in the back. If we fold the seat down, and then it just rocks forward, just like the front seat in a Morris Minor, which means I can then step into the back on these lambswool carpets and enjoy a lot of leg room. And yeah, I can really stretch me pins out back here. There's no armrest though. You'd have felt it would have had one. That's a bit high. We have got a grab handle to hold on with, and center armrest. That's very nice as well. All trimmed in beautiful vinyl. The beauty of vinyl is it ages that much better. So this interior looks absolutely brand new, and it's still nice and wipe clean. But yeah, this is a view you don't usually get in a Princess. Well, here's an unusual view for you. I can attach you to the division, so that makes life easier. So let's start the engine up. Wait for the fuel pump to stop clacking. Hopefully it'll stop clacking. There we go. I hope that isn't an indication of how little fuel we've got, but into drive we go. And here we are driving a British limousine in the Netherlands. And to be honest, it's yeah, it's very, very unusual. It's weird. Good visibility through my many, many windows. It's a hilarious induction roar that you don't expect in a formal limousine. But yeah, the overall impression is, look at my elbows, how bent they are. I'm so close to the steering wheel, uncomfortably so. But it doesn't matter how uncomfortable the chauffeur is. All that matters is that people can be carried in a dignified way to the church or funeral home. Yeah, these engines sound amazing. Very, very funny. Oh well, for a laugh, should we try and really open her up? You gonna change? Apparently not. There we go. Third gear, 50 miles an hour, which is as fast as we're allowed to drive at the moment. Apologies for the wind noise, it's a rather warm day. We do need the windows open. But I think what surprises me with this car is the comfort, because it's got Hydragas suspension and a longer wheelbase. It rides so blooming well. Question is, as a roundabout approaches, how does it handle? First of all, the brakes are good. 4-pot calipers were a common upgrade for your Ford Capri to make it actually stop. So pitch it in. Round we go. Yeah, it's still got that classic Princess handling. Oh, that noise. Sorry, I feel a bit bad driving it like this. After all, this was meant to be for those respectful final journeys. So let's go and do a slower journey through a village. Del Wynen, I think this is. So this is a bit more how it would have been driven. Stately, dignified. And the smooth 6-cylinder engine and smooth 3-speed transmission that kind of just wants to get into top gear as quickly as possible. Absolutely ideal for this. Power assisted steering is a nice weight, has a nice feel to it as well. So it means the chauffeur, crushed up here in his suit, needn't get too sweaty. Yeah, this is a reminder of, flawed as it was by the best will of British Leyland to ruin everything, the Princess is fundamentally a good car. The aspects of ride and handling, they got spot on. Build quality, perhaps not quite so much. Well, that was definitely one of the more surreal driving experiences of my life, driving a British Princess Limousine here in the Netherlands, where their oh so pretty buildings are located. But yeah, absolutely astonishing. I'm so pleased cars like this survive. Even if it's no longer in the UK, it still exists, and that's good. And I believe it's off to a new home, possibly to be part of a small collection, and that pleases me very much. What a strange collection that is. But yeah, huge thanks to Art for arranging this. It's been a great fun test here in the Netherlands. And don't forget, you can head to the Hubnut store and buy delicious merchandise, or just support what we do by liking and sharing our videos. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Farewell. Princess. Very tuneful. I forgot the important business of the wiper test. But look at that, we got good overlap, no triangle of doom. Success.